I speak about the trauma, the inner struggle, the invisible chain, because I believe we all of us black people will experience, we go through certain discrimination. All of us, we all always still in the system, from decade and generation, from slavery, colonization, all of that. We think it changes, but we still playing. We still in the same circle. That's why I believe I need to speak about the trauma that is in black community. It doesn't matter you in European, Africa, the Asia, whatever continent you are as a black person, we all go through the same trauma. It been suppressed, but we think we're fine. We're not fine. But I just wanted to explain something. Everything I speak about is a collection. I'll gather around information and based on what I see from us black people, and I pull it together and I write it down and I speak about. I see what we go through, all of us black people. The majority of us black people, we have the same trauma, but it's just different way of living. In Africa, they have trauma. I am African and I know the trauma that we have. Majority of us, we're gonna deny it, but we have trauma in everything. That's why in this one, especially this episode 5 that I'm speaking about, is about identity, trauma and identity. How pain shapes how we see ourselves, all of us black people. So we're going to talk about all of this, and I hope you can enjoy it, like and subscribe. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to speak. Majority of you going to disagree, and the majority of you, maybe you're going to agree. But this is the invisible chain, the inner struggle within us black people. Majority of us, we don't see. Who are you? Majority of us black people, we need to understand. Ask yourself, who are you? It sounds like a simple question, very simple question. But for many black people that are carrying trauma, the answer is complicated, very complicated. Because trauma doesn't just affect emotional, it affects identity, it affects confidence, it affects self-worth, it affects the way black people see themselves and the world around them. Over time, pain can become part of a person identity, and when that happens, the trauma doesn't just hurt, it began to define you. Today we're exploring how trauma shapes identity and how healing can help reclaim it. Welcome to the inner struggle, the invisible chain with Fortan Zimbu. The trauma majority of us black people, we don't recognize we have. Please like and subscribe. Now let's go to the video. Every black person has a story. Every black person has a story. A story about who they are. A story about where they belong. A story about what they believe they deserve. Trauma has a way of rewriting that story. A child repeatedly exposed to fear. Many grew up believing the world is unsafe. A person constantly rejected might begin believing they are not worthy. Someone who experienced repeatedly hardship might begin believe success is not for them. The event happening years ago, the slaving, colonization, that is many years ago, the hardship, but they believe remain. That what happened many years ago, the bad treatment, the beating, the abuse that black people receive in slaving time, colonization, the exploitation of white people or the Arabic nation to the African continent. And when the black, they've been shipped to different countries, the black that they was already in them space or them part of continent, now they began to be under control from all this exploitation, the colonization, the heavy trauma. That is a pain majority of us black people, we know that we don't see anymore. Trauma often leaves behind invisible message that play over and over in the mind I'm not good enough. I can't trust anyone. I'll never succeed. Nobody cares about me. I am alone. These thoughts can become so familiar that people stop questioning them and they begin to feel like it's a fact. But it's not. But they are not facts. They are wounds speaking from decade to decade, abuse of abuse, generation and generation. Majority of your Christianity, you read the Bible, black man, black female, children, you read the Bible. I'm just gonna say this. When you go to 10 commandments, Exodus 20, your God, the God of Christianity said, generation of I will punish their children from first and third generation or generation. That pain, that cycle, it keep repeating to black people over and over. The Bible is like a book that when I read it, there is a lot of truth in that book that it resonates to majority of us in the world. There are wounds speaking to all of us. One of trauma greatest attacks is on self-worth. When us black people experience pain repeatedly, we often begin blaming ourselves. That's what we do. We start blaming ourselves, or we stay silent. We stay silent. Yes, we do. Some talk, some we just stay silent. We die in silence. It's like Malcolm X said a long time ago. There is these people, they want us to die peacefully. They're sending dogs to Black America, but they want Black America not to defend themselves. It's like they want Black America to suffer silence in peaceful way when dogs are biting them, when police are shooting them. You see, all of this, it plays a big role in black people's wealth, black people health. Trauma is the greatest threat to black community. That chain that we don't see, that chain we never seen, that is the problem. You go to Africa, it's like my father used to say to me when he was born, he said, when I was born, we couldn't say nothing to white people. You say something, you end up in jail. They have to suffer peacefully. And that's the trauma that plays years and years. Black people is America, it can be the Caribbean. Look at the Haitian from 1700 to 1800. And they fought that revolution against the colonization. They fought and they won. And their country has been destroyed by who? The enemy. People that hate you and I. Yes, Haitian has been a destruction place, destruction, chaos and chaos. Just like majority of the country in Africa, you don't allowing with the Western, they portray you as an enemy. Oh, that country is a threat. Now we have to do something. We're gonna sanction them. They will suffer. Can you see what they do? Exploitation, slavery, colonization. It was a terrible idea. It was the biggest crime in history ever. Look at it. We got a billion of black people that are suffering in trauma. And majority of people, they think, just imagine it, people that they've been slaughtering you, and then people they calling the people that they slaughtering as savage.
Racism is a group system.
White European, they took over the American, but they start calling the indigenous people in that country as savage. You're slaughtering them and their family and the children. You're feeding them to alligator and you're calling them savage. That's what they call us Africans, savage. That's what they call Black America, savage. Just like at the Argentina, they put all the black people at the front so they can get unalive. Even when the trauma was never their fault, they start questioning their value, their intelligence, their appearance, their potential, their future. The tragic is that trauma can convince people they are less than they truly are. Many black people spend years and years believing that lies. The tragic is that trauma can convince a lot of people, and especially us black people, that we are less than we are truly are. Many black people spend years and years believing the lies. Many black community identity has often been shaped by force beyond individuals' control, oppression, negative stereotypes, discrimination, social exclusion. For generation and generation, many Black people have been told what they are not, told what they cannot achieve, told where they belong. The challenge is refusing to let those messages define your identity. Because no community should allow its future to be determined by the labels placed upon it by. Pain becomes especially dangerous when it moves from experience to identity. There is a difference between saying, I experienced trauma, and saying, I am my trauma. There is a difference between saying, I experienced trauma, and saying, I am my trauma. One describes something that happened. The others describes who you believe you are. Trauma might be part of your story, Black man, but it's not part of your entire story. Healing begins when people challenge their beliefs trauma created. Who told you that you are worthless? Who convinced you that you could not succeed? Who taught you to double yourself? And mostly importantly, were they right or wrong? The answer is often no. Healing means separating yourself from the lies trauma taught you. It means recognizing your value even when life has treated to convince you otherwise. Every healing journey requires a new story. A story based on truth instead of pain. A story based on possibility instead of fear. A story based on growth instead of limitation. The goal is not to erase the past. The goal is to refuse to be trapped by it. Your wounds are part of your journey, Black man, Black female, but they do not determine your destination. Trauma can shape identity, but it doesn't know on identity. Pain can influence your story, but it does not get to write the ending. You are more than what happened to you, Black man, Black female. You are more than your scar. Never forget that. You are more than your struggle. And the moment you begin to see yourself beyond your trauma, you begin to discover your freedom. Because healing is not just about recovering from pain. It's about remembering who you are before pain convinces you otherwise. Oh, Black man, Black female. What helped you survive yesterday might be holding you back today. Power to the people. Black for all. The invisible chain. The inner struggle. Majority of us, Black people, we don't see. That's the mess for today. I'll catch you to the next episode. Please like and subscribe. Power to the people. Peace.
Qui avez lutté sans relâche à nos côtés, je vous demande de faire de ce 30 juillet 1960 une date illustre que vous garderez ineffaçablement gravée dans vos cœurs, une date dont vous enseignerez avec fierté la signification à vos enfants.
We could be cured of our slave mentality that was indoctrinated into us during slavery. We would realize that just as the white man can do these things for himself and his kind, we can get together in unity and harmony and do the same thing for ourselves and our kind. White man has he brainwashed the so-called Negro to the point of believing in white supremacy so much that today some Negroes think that they're not making progress or they don't have anything unless they're living in a white neighborhood, unless they have the white man's neighborhood, a seat in the white man's school, or a position on the white man's job, and they even have taken it so far they don't think they're successful in life unless they have a white woman as a wife.
Colored people is free, ought to be awful thankful. And some of them are sorry they are free now. Some of them now would rather be slaves.
Which would you rather be, Uncle Phil?
Me? Which I'd rather be? You know what I'd rather do? If I thought, had any idea, that I'd ever be a slave again, I'd take a gun and just end it all right away. Because you're nothing but a dog. You're not a thing but a dog. Night never comes out